Good morning. Where have I seen God in this pandemic? This has been a godsend for our family. Let me just give you a slice of our family life before COVID. I work a full-time job, 50 plus hours a week. Sarah would be taken to the bus stop at 6:20 a.m. Leo and I would be out the door at 6:40 a.m. Home about 5 unless I would have to stop at the store or get gas. Both children play sports. Out again at 6 p.m., drive to practice. Divide and conquer is our motto of two parents going in two different directions for our two children during the week. Oh wait, Craig has a meeting in Tallahassee. He'll be home at 11:30 p.m. I cannot get to sleep until he's home safe and sound and not driving on I-10. March 10th, the packing was completed. Perfect spring clothes, perfect new outfits, perfectly great passports ready to go. One more day of work for both of us before we would take the trip of a lifetime to Paris, France for spring break. Breaking news, 8 p.m. President declares international travel has ceased until further notice due to the coronavirus. Crushing blow. We'll go this summer instead, we thought. At least we'd have a week off for spring break. As the reality started to settle in, trips canceled, sports seasons canceled, life as we knew it canceled. All seemed very dark. However, the sun came up each day. The changes were sudden at first. I would walk outside in the morning and really hear the birds. I mean, really hear the birds. With no traffic noise from 295 at 6:30 in the morning, I had nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nowhere to rush. I was so thankful for the rest, for the peace that came over our hearts. My family is safe. We're all home together with plenty of food, water, and most importantly, toilet paper. My teenage daughter started swinging on our huge tree swing again. We would have conversations about anything and everything. My son and I would ride bikes. My husband and I would go for walks and hold hands, reminiscing about Corinthians 1 and the day we got married. These were precious times. We also became much more thankful and grateful to not be suffering as others were, losing jobs and livelihoods, and worst of all, losing loved ones. We thanked God every day. Before COVID, on most Sunday mornings, my family and I would go to church. I've been a lifelong Lutheran, and this is what we do. We go to church on Sundays. Now Sundays were becoming like any other day of the week, which was extremely troubling. I mean, no singing, no sharing of the peace, no fellowship, and most importantly, no absolution. This is the most important part of service for me. I also like to pray for the world and the sick and the people we know and love, but this is big. Sins forgiven, washed clean, the start of a new day. This weighed on my soul for a while until we started back to be watching church, and the relief I felt in hearing Pastor Anna's voice leading us in the absolution, the creed, the Lord's Prayer, the benediction was priceless. We were all going to be okay. The Saturday night Zoom conferences were an additional source of strength, laughter, and calmness. Thank you for making this happen for me. It added to my sense of normalcy. I see God in everyday things, the nature around me, the birds and the clouds, but I see God in the kindness that people are sharing. I've been calling on people. I make a point to call people I haven't spoke to in a very long time each night at 7 o'clock. The joy it brought to some of them was extraordinary. I would call some friends from high school that I know don't have spouses or significant others based by all their cat pictures on Facebook for the last few years. They were really happy to hear from me. God is all around us in the time of COVID. I feel surrounded by God's love. Scripture reads that we put on the armor of God each and every day. We do this as we walk together with the Lord. I wear a mask, I wear a face shield, I wash my hands. I stay at home whenever possible. I try to be safe at school teaching kids, but I will not be overcome by fear. And with the Lord and this wonderful church family by our side, we together will get through this. Thank you for this opportunity to share this with you. God's blessings to all.
The privilege of sharing the Lord's meal together is the very fact that having received the meal, we get sent out to do just that which Karen spoke about. So I'm very glad that we had her come up and share. Thanks, Karen.